The current market is rough for buyers. Strong offers are getting blown out of the water, and people are waiving all sorts of contingencies to get ahead. So what should you do? Should you just rent for a year and see where the market settles? And what can you do now to get ahead? My name is Phil Wells. I'm a real estate agent here in Spokane. I love working with people, guiding them through their move, whether they're buying, selling, or both. This video isn't going to be speculation about where the market's heading or anything like that. In this video, we're just going to talk about the current market from a buyer's perspective and how you can still win. So let's get into it. The first thing to consider is that interest rates are still low. They are rising slightly, but are still in the low 3% range. This has increased the number of potential buyers with a pre-approval letter in their back pocket. So whereas before we maybe have 2 or 3 offers on a nice house, we're now looking at tens of offers being commonplace. And for a particularly well-presented home in a great area with desirable features, we're seeing so many offers that it can take days for the list agent to sift through them all and present them to the seller. This is obviously making the so-called bidding war more of a common occurrence and is leading to a lot of frustration in the market. Here in Spokane, we just got the figures for March, and we saw a 17.9% increase in the median home price. So you can see we're really talking about a super competitive market space right now, and it's not just Spokane, it's nationwide. On top of there being an increased number of qualified buyers out there, there is a reduced number of homes available for sale. Here in Spokane, the overall number of homes available for sale dropped 65% in March compared to last March. So why is this the case if a seller can get so much for their home, you might be asking? Well, unless you're moving out of town or you're offloading a rental property or something like that, the market that you sell in is the market that you buy in, and a seller is likely to encounter the same competitive market space as any other buyer. In addition, in this low interest rate environment, there are other ways for a seller to benefit other than selling their home. For example, they could refinance it in order to pay their home off sooner. Or they might wish to take some equity out of their home to work on a project that they've always wanted to. With increasing interest rates though, maybe this is becoming less of a desirable option, and maybe we're going to start to see some more inventory in the future. So we have an increased demand for homes and a reduced supply. This is obviously creating a market with a strong upward trend in terms of price. So should you even attempt to buy a home in this market? And if you say yes, how can you still win? It's worth saying at this point as well that there's no such thing as timing the market. Maybe there'll be a downturn in the future, but who knows? If you are waiting for the market to drop, you might be waiting for a very, very long time. The reality of the situation is, if you want to look at buying a home, you should reach out to an agent and see if you're in with a shot, and if you are, you should absolutely go for it. Let's talk about how you can win a deal even in today's market. Obviously, if you can dump an all-cash offer over asking on the table, you're likely to win the deal, and I'd love to hear from you. However, if you're like the majority of people and you're not in that position, then what can you do to get ahead? The first thing to think about is to limit your contingencies. There are some contingencies that just aren't going to last long on the seller's table when they've got multiple other offers that just don't contain those contingencies. Let's look at a few of these and discuss. A pending home sale contingency. Imagine you have a home down in Arizona and you need to sell that home before you can move up here to Spokane. Now, in a normal market, it's feasible to make your offer contingent on that sale. However, in today's market, this just isn't competitive unless you're in a higher price point. If you can completely close on the Arizona home before you move to Spokane, or you can afford to pay 2 mortgages at the same time, then this is the approach that you should go down. Alternatively, you will have to bid more and hope that the offer gets accepted. The next contingency to look at is the inspection contingency. Yes, believe it or not, people are waiving their inspection contingency in this market. Previously, here in Spokane, it was common to have a 10-day inspection window, and sellers would be pretty receptive to requests for repairs. In today's market, anything over a 3-day inspection window really isn't considered competitive when there are multiple offers on the table with limited inspection contingencies or no contingencies at all. Now, I in good faith cannot advise someone to waive their inspection contingency. In my view, it's just not worth the risk. However, you can do things like exploring the pre-inspection approach or significantly limiting your inspection contingency. The pre-inspection approach does require additional time before an offer is accepted and doesn't always work out. Both of these methods have worked for me in the last month in getting my clients' offers accepted. On top of limiting your contingencies, you might want to look at how you can sweeten the deal slightly. Other than offering more money than the next person in line, you may wish to increase your earnest money down payment, for example. You may wish to provide evidence of funds to show the seller you're good to go. In addition, you may wish to consider what the house will appraise for in the the future and offer to fill any gap between what the offer price is and what the appraised value is. You may even wish to offer additional time for the seller to move out so that they can go and then find a property after they sell. This would be great in a situation where a seller is buying in the same market they're selling in. The next thing to do is to hire a competent agent. Just a little story to show you why this is so important. I won a deal for my clients last month, and the only reason that we won it is because other more competitive offers had expired. If your agent isn't going to reach out to the sellers and figure out when they're reviewing offers and then set your offer to expire after that time, they're not working in your best interests. A competent agent will also reach out to the sellers, figure out what their pain points are, and devise an offer around these things. That's it for this video. Buying a home in this market sucks. I'm sorry, it just does. I understand that it's extremely easy to get dissuaded in this market, but continue to put all your effort into each offer and eventually you will get to where you need to be. Like I said, my name is Phil Wells. If you or anybody that you know is interested in buying property here in Spokane, then please get in contact with me, shoot me a text, send me an email, give me a call, and I'd be honored to work with you. Until the next one, thanks for watching.